Hello music creators, Mike here, and in this video you will learn how to use the powerful effect racks in Omnisphere. So let's explore this right now. You will also get some bonus power tips if you watch to the end of this video. Now, a great thing about the effects in Omnisphere is that not only do you have so many effects to choose from in many different categories, you also have several different chains of effects in various places inside of Omnisphere. So if we check this out first, so here is a patch. This is number one instrument. You can load up to 8 different instruments in Omnisphere, different patches or parts, and each instrument has its own effects rack right here. Now that effects rack is actually divided into all these different chains. So A corresponds to layer A inside this part, B to layer B, and so on. Common is of course all of these, so that applies to the entire part here. And you even have an aux send, so you can have insert, so to speak, per layer, one insert chain for all of them, and aux chain per layer. So that means that if I go to A, you can use this slider and send to aux here, and if you have, let's say, a delay, or let's add a reverb here. Now you have a reverb on layer A because that sends to the aux chain here. So let me take that again. You have insert effects chains up to 4 effects per layer here, 4 effects in the rack which applies to all 4 layers, and aux effect chain. So this chain applies to any layer that you use this aux send for. So that is for each part. Now it goes even deeper because you can actually have send effects on the entire part as well. If you go into the the mixer here, you can see these 4 aux sends here. What are they? Well, they are this effects rack here. So here you have aux 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now it's loaded a reverb on. Let's in fact turn this off first. Okay, so we have a dry sound. Again, to the multi-mixer. Here, if I increase this aux, that's the aux 1 effect send. So you have 4 different aux sends, so send effects that you can apply to any of your 8 instruments that you can load here. I will show you how this works. I activated the stack mode, so I actually play both of these sounds, A and B. So this second sound here, which is another waveform, compared to this one here. Now, that means that I can apply reverb here as a send. It is not applied here because it sends from this part, number 1, to AUX 1 here. So I get the reverb here. And then I can, for example, add a delay on this. And then if you want to stack them together and play them together with stack mode, now I have delay on the second and reverb on the first. And of course, you have this up to 4 different aux sends. So let's reduce those now and then go into FX again. And this is another cool thing. You can also apply a master insert effect on the master output, which means every one of these 8 parts will get whatever this FX chain is. If I add this distortion here before. So let me see if I play those at the same time. Yeah. And I apply it. And let me show you that it is in fact applied to all of them. So the first part in solo, let's remove it. Let's turn it on. And on the second one, let's remove it. Let's turn it on. So again, this goes. This master effect applies to all 8 parts, 8 instruments in Omnisphere. And then you can, of course, use that together with these aux sends. So again, add some reverb on that one, add some delay on that. And you can see how deep you can go with effects. I mean, then you can go into the individual parts here, the actual instruments, go into that effect chain, add some extra modulation here, or add per layer if you want to. And I mean, there are so many creative possibilities when you apply the different effects chains in different ways in all these parts inside Omnisphere. Alright, so now it's time for some bonus power tips. Now, look here, in any different rack you are in, you actually have a presets button right here. If you click it, you have various options here for entire effects chains. So let's use this one. That one, particular one, loaded these 3 effects, and you can always go back, change it to something else, or click an empty rack if you want to create one for yourself. You can also save, for example, your own effect chains here. Now, another cool thing is when you have something loaded here, this is a chain of effects, so you can actually grab one of these, left click, and just drag it, and, move them around. Because a different order of effects will create a different result in the final sound. Another really cool trick that is kind of hidden, in my opinion, is let's say you have a vintage compressor. Now, you can go ahead and dial in your own settings, but what about presets here? You have them. If you click this arrow here, left click, and you have some basic presets. Pump it up. So that is a preset for this particular effect. And of course, they are different for different effects. So the Volve radio here will have, let's say, Fat and Nasty, right? So that's one there now. So every single effect, analog chorus, if you click there, you have a bunch of presets already that you can just use straight away. Now, here's another bonus tip. Some of these effects actually have more parameters than you can see. Check here, more. So if you click that, you open up more parameters. It's like flipping the rack. So I personally love the design and look of these one height rack units, but the downside is, of course, that you can only fit a certain amount of knobs on it. So if you click more, that opens up more parameters on many of these devices. Now choose which video you are going to watch next, or you can check out the amazing bonuses in the video description.